Southwind, LeDrew Hosak here, and with a very, very exciting ceremony today for you guys. It's been 2 long years for everybody in the entrepreneurship class, and we've had a lot of good stuff happen within those 2 years, LeDrew, haven't we?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Really proud of these Southwind entrepreneurs for investing in their professional and personal development. And now they've become some of the best leaders in the entire organization, and arguably, maybe the best cohort ever. So you guys will see them come up here shortly as we celebrate the graduation from the Southwind Entrepreneurship class. Tommy Shaw Hinion.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. If I had to describe my style of leadership, I would say that it's very hands-on. So, a leader to me is somebody who I believe should be looked up to, but not only looked up to, but looked to for examples and answers when his guys need them. I don't think that a leader sends his soldiers to war. I think that a leader goes to war with his soldiers, and he's always got his back. I think that's one of the most important things that you can do for your people, is let them know that you've got them and that you're not going to let them down. And that's another way to just earn respect among your peers and among those that you lead, is by just following through with what you say you're going to do. And in that, it lets you build a strong culture and allows you to take disciplinary action when necessary. But also just, brings everybody together when they know that there's that trust there. I think as far as motivating people goes, a leader should be, able to set high goals, but also make those goals personal for the people who he's leading, and have them have a little skin in the game, and have an actionable plan for how to accomplish that goal, and show that these things are possible, and that we're able to do what we need to do as long as we follow these set steps, and make it more of a system. I started the entrepreneurship class as a director of operations in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then now I am a general manager at 1-800 Adjunct Boston South. The Southwind entrepreneurship class has made me a leader. I don't think I was much of one before joining, and I've definitely become one since. I learned that it's all about the people, and leadership is everything to do with your self-development, but also then transferring that to everyone around you.
Nicholas Wilson Bennett. Congratulations.
Job well done.
All right, so as a leader, I think a good word to describe my leadership style would be supporting. I like to include everyone in as many decisions as possible. I think it's really important to do that, just because whenever someone has a say in the way that things are ran, they're going to cherish that idea because they came up with it. And if we agree on something as a group and people are all pitching in and they all agree on it, then they're not going to want to let themselves down and not let their idea of the way that things should be ran fail. So I think I've always tried to lean towards that topic, or lean towards that style of leadership. Obviously there's times when you kind of just have to step in and make a decision for what's best for the team, but in an ideal situation I really love to include everyone in as many decisions as possible in order to get the most out of them. An example of that, I guess, would be when we're having our meetings about truck checks, or just the organization of the shop, or out in the warehouse, how we're going to organize certain things. I like to bring everyone in, and like maybe in the morning meeting just mention it to everyone. All right, look, this is what I kind of want to go over. What do you guys think about this? How do you guys see it? What would make it easier on you guys to make the job more efficient, and keep the morale high pretty much. And whenever they're able to pitch in and give me ideas or give management ideas of how they like it, they feel like they're listened to and they have a say in what we're going to pick. So it always turns out to be better than if we're just telling them how it's going to be, in my opinion. So I think that's kind of my style of leadership. When I started in entrepreneurship class, I was a lead trainer of Grand Rapids, Michigan Junk. Now I am a general manager in the Connecticut franchise. When I started the class, I was pretty narrow-minded. I thought I was hot stuff. It's kind of a reality check, to say the least. And once I learned to check my ego, it was only up from there. The biggest takeaway from the class is being open-minded, checking your ego at the door. If you're able to do a couple of those things, anything's possible, and if you are able to set your mind to something, you can achieve it. Advice for people interested in the class is find someone that has what you want and stay in close proximity to them and talk to them.
Ryan Daniel Whitehead.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey guys, Ryan Whitehead here out in Indianapolis, Indiana, putting together the video for our entrepreneurship class. First and foremost, how would you describe your style of leading? I would definitely say it's by example with a bit of charisma. I'll never ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't do myself, and I sincerely mean that. If I'm asking you to shovel shit out of a basement, it's because I've literally shoveled shit out of a basement. I believe a good leader possesses the ability to guide his staff down the road he sees most successful, and that takes charisma to get the team to think like you think and to direct the team down a thought process that you're wanting them to ultimately make, the decision on their own, but you want to guide them to that way. Again, I think it takes charisma, and you've got to be able to prove to the team that you can make the right decisions so that they know when they're being led to make theirs that it's going to be the correct one. Ultimately, I do believe that I am a leader by example, and I like to have my own little charisma while I go about it.
I was the director of operations, starting the class, and moved into it as a franchise partner. Yeah, it actually exposed me as a leader. It showed me how bad of a leader I was. And then it provided me the tools to not only lead a business, but to create leaders within our business. Ego's the enemy, no doubt about it. Be coachable and be open-minded to new things, and it will enhance your career. And give the class the respect it deserves. Take it seriously, and you will definitely be a different person from when you started to when you finish.
Samuel Erickson Laney. Congratulations.
So the first question, what type of leader I am, very easy to answer. I would consider myself to be a influencer by nature, but also a manager in that sense, meaning that I want to influence guys to do the right thing, but I want to influence them in a way to where they feel respected and that they feel like they can trust me, but at the same time they feel like they can come and talk to me, and I don't want to just be a boss, if that makes sense. I want to be able to lead people in the direction that they want to go, but also in a direction where they feel like that I am their boss, but at the same time they can come and talk to me about anything. So I want to make sure that they feel respected, but at the same time know that we have to get things done just in any facet. That's how I see myself as a leader, and that's the easiest way I can describe it.
Yeah, so when I first started entrepreneurship class, I was a senior crew leader and just starting my operations training with the assumption that there might be some extras opportunities down the road. What the leadership class gave to me to develop me into the general manager I am today is the structure and the development as a leader and as a person to run a business. The Southwind Entrepreneurship class is is basically the only thing that has put me in the position that I'm in today. It has made me a better leader and taught me how to lead a business and be a better person. Most valuable learning experience is that it takes a village. You'll never be able to do everything by yourself, and if you don't have good people around you that you're constantly developing, then you're asking to fail.
Andy Reed Majors.
Congrats, Mitch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
So when I started, I was just a general manager here in Kansas City, and then since then, I am now an FP for a couple different got junks throughout the system, part of our Southwind engine, and I'm also a leadership class instructor with JD Wood here in Kansas City. Yeah, for me, it really opened up my blind spots as a leader, and because of the rigorous classes and all the new stuff that LeDrew and Aaron Hosak brought in, it actually enticed me more to want more leadership development. Yeah, it was really cool to be able to be in the class with some guys that weren't necessarily general managers at the time, and we had an opportunity to work on Southwind operating system and kind of building out different tentacles, if you will, to the entire process that we put together. So it was really cool to collaborate with them because I stole a lot from them, and I know I obviously added some value as well. So it was really fun to kind of work together and create something that's going to be used continuously within Southwind. Yeah, so if you're trying to get in this class, if you're not doing this currently, I would recommend you get a journal or some type of calendar on your phone just to kind of start a new path of consistency. Because in leadership, we talk a lot about consistency and executing all this stuff over and over and over again. So for me, before you get in the class, I would start strengthening that consistency muscle that's going to be so vital into your leadership path.
Benedict David Zobris. Congrats.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Bennett here. I just want to first of all thank you for the opportunity to apply to the Entrepreneurship class. I'm just going to go ahead and get started answering these questions. The way that I would describe my teaching style is sort of a breaking down and building up of character. And what that essentially is pairing constructive criticism with positive reinforcement. So what that exactly means is that don't be afraid to criticize people for something that they did wrong, but always come back with something positive to build them up in the end. So, for example, if someone's doing a call ahead, they had a great introduction, they explained the service well, but they didn't find more junk, it's okay to say, hey, look, you kind of missed to find more junk opportunity here. Maybe next time, try and shoot for that. But overall, you had a great tone. You started building great rapport with the customer, and I really like that. So let's just work on that, find more junk opportunity next time. That's really what I try to go with. And always have goals every day. Whether that's doing good call heads or finding good reviews. I think you need a goal to always continually advance as a good worker and as a person. And lastly, I just try to be a great role model for whoever I'm working with that day. Always treating customers right, giving accurate bids, making sure that they're happy, and taking care of who I'm with for the day. I always try and be my best so that who I'm working with can see what we're all trying to be about. Started out as an operations manager in entrepreneurship class. I was in Kansas City for just about a year before I became the general manager of Salt Lake City. It taught me all the tools to be a leader. It gave me all the information, everything I needed to know to be effective. It taught me everything from personal finance to building a business to knowing how to admit when I needed help. Yeah, from where I started to where I am now, I've basically climbed mountains. Entrepreneurship class has given me all the tools I need to be a leader within a Southwind organization. Be willing to fail, be willing to be vulnerable, and be available and be committed 100%. And you will find that you will learn everything that you desire to.
Jacob Andrew Wagner.
Hello, Jacob here. Thank you very much for the opportunity that you've given me, and also the opportunity to be asked these questions, because they're things that, kind of define who somebody is, and also something that I don't really think about very often, things that I know, but I don't, have in my head. So, first question, how would I describe my style for teaching peers? My style might be trial by error. It's getting in repetitions with them so that they kind of have it constantly going in their head. The more repetitions that they get, the better that they can get, the more fluently they'll be able to execute. My goal is to never make them feel like they're failing, but that there's always more to learn, because that's just life in general. I mean, growth is always in front of us if we choose for it to be. I try to share similar struggles that I've come across so they don't feel like they're alone in the learning process. That's super important, just because nobody wants to go through anything new or try to learn anything new by themselves. It's always helpful whenever there's kind of common ground between student and teacher, like, oh, they're not perfect, so I'm not going to be perfect. There's always room for growth, like I said. And lastly, I always try to give a compliment sandwich. Let them know, hey, you did this very, very well. You did kind of struggle here. This is how you can improve on this, but then I also want to let you know that you did this very well as well. So their confidence isn't damaged, but they also know what they need to work on, with what can improve and everything like that. When I started the entrepreneurship class, I was a CSL in Kansas City, just getting started in operations, not a whole lot on my plate, but fast forward to now, like I said, I'm a director of people development in Connecticut. I've had the chance to work with hundreds of people, not only here, but across the Southwind system. So big night and day difference from then to now. The Southwind Entrepreneurship class has impacted me as a leader by giving me the tools to effectively lead, communicate with, and motivate not only myself, but my team around me. But as far as advice that I'd give to somebody who's starting this class off or is wanting to apply to this class, biggest thing I can say is drop your ego, leave it at the door. You're going to have to sacrifice things that get you further away from your goal, and you're also going to have to be open-minded as well. Because you can say that you want to be successful all that you want to, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything without the actions that back that up.